Missouri.
Ohio.
Come on now.
Obvious reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Obvious reasons. Ohio.
Paris. Yeah, honestly, Paris.
You know, that's a hard one because Rome also is one that I really...
Oh, I know. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's hard. But we are in the moment in Paris, so
absolutely.
We have to say Paris. We feel the French. Amici.
Of course.
Amici.
Good buddy. I mean,
and you know,
Rivali.
Most people think that tenors aren't friends, but we're buds too.
Absolutely. I mean,
buds too.
Well, it's crazy because there may be some of that, but very little. I mean, every tenor that I know, we're kind of in a camaraderie, like a brotherhood, because we all
a fraternity.
Yeah, we're all having to.
Fraternité.
We're all having to do the craziest repertoire that nobody else really does, and we all know how much it can get inside your head. So we're all like, come on, you can get that high note. Good job, man. Yeah, we're all cheering each other on because we know how insane it is.
We understand how difficult it is. So I think we have a bit of compassion and also, you know, support system for one another. So I definitely think Amici.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a balance. That's all. That's the thing. I mean, but liberty is. I mean, we both come from the States, and I don't know. I like liberté, fraternité, et égalité. For me, that's a great theme rather than liberty and security. It's kind of an odd wording to do the two, but I think you need all of it actually. So
I will say liberty.
Yeah.
But I think that there is a good argument for security too.
Yeah.
Football.
Sorry, well, it's
football.
Well, are you talking about American football or soccer? I don't know because
either one of them over baseball.
Well, yeah,
but
I'm a baseball player.
American football.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not even close. I appreciate baseball, but American football for me.
No, where I grew up, we're all baseball players. I played for 16, 17 years. I was thinking about going into college, going to baseball. We come from our little town. We didn't have in small towns in the States. When you come from a really poor area, football is impossible. It's really expensive, all of the things. But baseball was the thing that everybody played, and I mean, I played it with my teammates since I was 4. I don't know. Football was never a big thing to me, but I understand. Like, it's insane to everybody. Everywhere I am, especially when I'm back home on Sundays. Forget about it. I mean, everything's shut down. Everybody's at football.
You know, the thing is, I'm from Ohio, I say the great state of Ohio, and there's a huge tradition of American football there. And so, where I was born, right in between Pittsburgh and Cleveland, there's just so much tradition in American football. Some of the great teams have played. Some of the great championships have been played in that area. So I grew up, you know, in intense rivalries, so I'm a big fan of football. I play college and professional. I also play fantasy football. So football for me is like,
he knows.
It's a passion. And if I weren't an opera singer, I would probably be a football commentator / analyst.
I bet, yeah, you'd be good at that, man. You'd be really good at it.
That's what Barbecue.
Absolutely
Barbecue. Michael Jackson.
Man, that's hard. That's a hard one.
It's not even close.
I mean, there was Elvis, then there's Michael Jackson. That's true. Like, took over the world. But like, for me personally, I'd probably go towards Sinatra just because I like the old timey music, and I grew up with all of the records of Sinatra from my mother and things like that. But yeah, Michael Jackson was like, he was so influential for my generation that it's. I mean, you see videos of him like going around anywhere and people fainting, like
grown men crying.
Yeah, and you're like, what is this? And the Jackson 5, I still listen to that. My kids love Jackson 5, you know, but like, yeah, I don't know. Late 80s Michael, I don't know.
Michael Jackson. Edgardo.
Yeah, definitely. It's an amazing role, and the characters, so yeah.
Edgardo. Ramiro is a frustrating role for me because I love to sing it, but I think he has a difficult time. He's frustrated the whole opera. And
yeah, you're right. You're just like, and then, and then finally at the end,
it's like you have this moment, you think, finally.
For me, it's in French, honestly. I've made my career in French. Yeah.
I've sang. I would say that I've sung probably 80% of the things that I have been in Italian. But I love the French chanson. But it's I just have done a lot more Italian. But French is growing too, so it's
yeah.
Next step.
I mean, doing Rameau is no small feat, you know. In Paris, you know, it's
that's
crazy.
right.
Oh, that's interesting. Early Di Stefano, but Mario De Monaco. You're talking about too crazy. I know that's really hard. I mean, Mario De Monaco is just incredible, but
oh my god!
But early Di Stefano is amazing, and all of my Italian friends.
Early Di Stefano, he had like 7 or 8 year career.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I mean, like his early things, you just cannot believe like someone at that young age can sing that well.
His Puritani.
And all of my Italian friends though, they're just like, if you want to listen to perfect Italian, it's Giuseppe Di Stefano. It's the same thing with Mario De Monaco and both Giuseppe. They're just.
I think I have to say Del Monaco. There's something about. I have the one album where he's just like holding the notes for like 30 seconds.
I know. Yeah. No, yeah.
Just singing anything. He's like, oh.
Yeah. It depends. I like both, but the problem is what we have problems with, a lot of us, with modern productions are...
Don't desecrate it.
No, yeah, exactly. You have to respect why you're performing the opera. You know, I've been in situations where, earlier on, where people will say, no, this is my production of Barbiere Sevilla, and put my name in bigger font than Rossini. And I think that's absolute insanity. People are going there for the opera, and people, if you don't connect what's going on in libretto to what's going on stage, there's a big disconnect in people's minds. Yeah.
I love the creativity, and I think we, as common, present-day artists, have to push the envelope in order to win a younger, more vibrant, more diverse audience to come into the theaters, to this, But I feel like if you can do that with an appreciation of what has happened in the past, that's the best way to do it. The modern with elements of the vintage as well.
Yeah. Pagliacci.
The thing I love about the Vienna Staatsoper is that you have something going on all the time. They have the famous balls. They have the touristic element of it. So I think it is a landmark that people appreciate. And so I think as a universal symbol of opera, that probably has much more of an importance to people who are not involved in opera. The Royal Opera in Covent Garden, of course, is one of the most important theaters in the world. But I think it's a little bit more. It relies on its reputation. And, I think it has much more of a posh, if you want to call it, attitude towards it. So.
I mean, it's in the name, Royal Opera House.
Royal.
But the Staatsoper as well. So,
but the Staatsoper is just so much happening, which I appreciate, which is good for the world of opera.
Yeah, and I started in Vienna. I lived 4.5 years in Vienna. I made all of my schooling, as it were. For 4.5 years, I was in choirs, and the Staatsoper was a dream of mine from the time I was 23 when I moved there. And so it's been a very important house to me. But yeah, I mean, also Royal Opera House is incredible. But to me, it's a lot closer to my career and everything is the Staatsoper. So. Well, it's difficult. I mean, I've never done. I know Otello Verdi like the back of my hand, and I produced it with my opera company, and I love it. But honestly, Otello Rossini is it's unknown to modern audiences. But that's why Verdi composed it, and it took him so long to compose it because he revered Rossini's Otello, and it was the most famous thing that changed everything after it happened. And the biggest thing is like it was the first production where a person, a protagonist, kills himself on stage. That was considered a no-no in all of opera. That never happened before. And what he was able to create, the drama that Rossini was able to create, is unprecedented in certain elements. He was still fighting against the old way of doing opera, but I mean, obviously, Verdi's Otello is what everyone knows now, and I believe it's an amazing piece. And it was a little closer to the Shakespeare version, but I don't know. I mean, someday I'd like to do Otello, but Rossini's Otello is just for us. There's no,
Yeah, of course, it's been important even in our disc, our CD.
Yeah, both, yeah.
I think it was the real kind of like the impetus for us to record this together because it had a tenor duet. And so I of course I respect Otello's Verdi, but our history alone, you know, is Rossini's Otello. It has to be.
For me, I would say the theater would be Opera Comique, the opera would be Hoffmann. Yeah, those are really hard questions.
The opera would be Puritani. The theater might be Zurich. I will just say, because I remember when I did Puritani in Zurich, it was a new production, but it was with Pretiende, and I remember us having a very electric moment on stage where everything was seeming to work. So it was in Zurich with Preti, with my friend, the baritone was George Petian. So I remember having that really special feeling, thinking, wow, I feel like I'm doing what I was born to do. So I guess I would say Zurich, Puritani, I would say Preti, and George Petian.
Okay, not bad. Podcast.
This is my,
yeah, it's great.
we had a really
special
show.
So in the fantasy world, I would say Virginia Ziani, when she was really on, like, there's no one that can touch her.
Oh, we can pick.
But I would say Virginia Ziani, when she was on, like, she just tore the place apart and just slayed everyone on stage. And everyone's like, okay, all right, I need to stop singing. Georgia London and Leonard Warren, those two, I would have dreamed to sing with either of those. Yeah, can you imagine? Like,
That's hard then.
I know, it's super hard. That's why I was thinking, while you were talking, I was like, how many minutes do I need to do this?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head.
We'll submit your answers in
Bastianini of the Mets.
Yeah,
Mariella De Villa. I don't know so many people up there.
That would take some.
Thank you.